A lot of people are on speed, man. A lot of people are on Adderall. It's fucking stunning. It's stunning how many like hyped up people we have out there are really like we have a speed culture. Makes you very efficient. You get shit done. You got plenty of energy. And some people love it. And like how much is that flavoring our culture? Wouldn't it be nice to get rid of that, Lex? Phase that out?
All drugs? Yeah, in general.
All problems with the mind. We could phase it
Mushrooms
out.
only.
Well, you could do it that way, but that takes a lot of work. Or we could just genetically engineer it from the jump. No more emotions.
No more emotions. Because emotions, life is suffering, Dostoevsky and Nietzsche. Ultimately, you're going to, every good thing you have, eventually going to lose. Every hello with the person you love is eventually going to be a goodbye. Why say hello ever?
Why say hello ever again? Also, why? Why does it have to be like that? Like, we have this idea in our head that this way we live is like ultimately, because to us it provides emotions and because it creates dilemmas and solutions and conflict and resolution. There's so much going on in our minds all the time when it comes to interacting with each other that we feel like it's imperative for existence. But why? It's just because it's the only way we've known. You have to suffer in order, but why do you have to suffer in order to be happy? Wouldn't it be better if you're just happy? Like, do we really fucking need to suffer? Couldn't that be engineered out? Now, this is coming from a person who purposely suffers all the time so that I could stay happy. And it does work. But God, do I have to do it that way?
Well, there's an incredible computation machine we call evolution that has constructed human beings. You want to mess with that? You want to get a few software engineers from San Francisco to mess with the computation system that is evolution, that is Earth.
Yes.
This giant computer that for billions of years spent 1 billion years on bacteria trying to figure shit out before it advanced. And now it went through all of these incredible stages. This entire ecosystem that we call life on Earth, probably planted here by aliens. And recently these monkeys started to get super clever. And now we're going to completely change everything.
Yes. You know why?
Why?
Because that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That is a part of evolution, is the monkeys figuring out how to fuck with everything.
Well, that's probably why we haven't have any definitive evidence of aliens from out there, because the monkeys eventually start fucking with things and destroy themselves.
They turn themselves into starfish. Whoops. Yeah, you're a super genius for like 6 months and then you become a fucking jellyfish.
I mean, that's a threat.
Yeah.
Maybe there's so many possible trajectories here that end up in what we would think of as boring.
I had a very interesting conversation with Eric Weinstein, and we're going to talk about it on the podcast from a physics standpoint. He's very perplexed about the UFO thing. And what's interesting is, like, he's one of those guys, like a lot of very smart people, that were like, it's all horseshit. It's all bullshit. But now he's come around to what the fuck is going on.
What's his take?
Well, he doesn't have a take necessarily, but he's looking at all the data and all the evidence. We're going to have like a whole long conversation about it. But essentially, there's one of two possibilities. Either this shit is coming from somewhere else or it's coming from here. So either we or someone has some real legitimate groundbreaking technology, or someone's visiting us from somewhere else. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's one of the, because now there's enough data that show that these things are moving in a way that they can't understand. There's video that they're moving in a way they can't understand. They're not showing a heat signature from visible means of propulsion. It's not like a rocket. It's like whatever they're doing something different. And then Commander David Fravor, who you talked to, that Tic Tac experience, if they really did track something that went from above 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 feet in less than a second, what the fuck is that? Like, if that's real, we're assuming that all their calibration was on and all their equipment worked together, but it was multiple different visual sightings of this thing too. Different jets saw it, different people, uniform story. Everybody's talked about how it just moved off at insane rates of speed. And then there's all these other ones like Ryan Long and all these other people that he flew with that are seeing these similar behaviors from these things where they just disappear. They move off at insane rates of speed. So it's one of two things. Either he said there's been some sort of parallel science, some science that's going on where nobody knew about it, and all the top physicists were completely unaware of this tech. and they were developing it independently in some fucking lab in the mountains for the government, or aliens, or someone else,
There's a
doing
bunch of
it.
other options, and one thing is, I just talked to David Kipping. It's just I highly recommend his YouTube channel, Cool Worlds. He's a legit. It's like Huberman. You sometimes get these like legit scientists who are also good communicators. They'll step
Oh,
up.
nice.
So he's like the Huberman of astronomy. Young guy. You'll probably have him on eventually. I'm betting.
Sure,
There's
I'll have him on.
He's brilliant, brilliant. Definitely check out his channel. Anyway, he's an astronomer, so he's deep in the astronomy, astrophysics community, and he says, and you've said this before too, is he tries to really hard not to think about stuff he wants to be true, like
Right.
be very kind of calibrated properly, because with the UFO sightings, there is a part of you, I don't know why exactly, but you kind of want it to be true.
Not kinda. Like all the way. I
All
want
the way.
like 98% of it to be true.
And there you have to be a little bit careful. But yeah, definitely, like to me, it feels like the scientific development that we're doing now with Starship, the SpaceX and Starship, with all the advancement in telescopes, we're just getting more and more and more data to where we're not going to have these shitty videos. We're going to have high resolution
Mm.
understanding. And because it's becoming more okay to talk about aliens, I think the actual scientific community has a bigger humility about the topic to where they're expanding of their like the window of their study to consider all kinds of physical phenomena, all kinds of observation, all kinds of sources of data and signals and so on, to where we would. I mean, I would hope we would get definitive signals of